Hi guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be teaching us how you can cut the upper part of this dress, and secondly how you can cut and sew the lower part of this dress. Okay, before we commence the tutorial, I would advise that you visit our website and download the basic bodice tutorial. It's free. Okay, so visit www.wearlala.com. Okay, the basic bodice pattern tutorial is there for you to download for free. Just visit the site and then you scroll down. Okay, so this is my basic bodice pattern here. We'll be using this to draft the upper part of the dress. So we'll be starting off with the front pattern. Now I use 4" by 4" for my neck width in front, and now we're going to be marking out the insert or the yoke for the dress. Now on the on the waistline, which is the last line on my pattern, I'll be marking 1/4 inch there. Okay, then on the underbust line, okay, on the bust line, we're going to be marking 1/4 inch. Sorry, 1/2 inch. I beg your pardon. Yeah. So on the underbust line, I'll be marking 1/2 inch. Now you should do this with your pencil. I'm using marker because this is the tutorial. Okay, so 1/4 inch here, 1/2 inch there. Then on the bust point line, I would mark 3/4 inch, and then 1 inch on my chest line. Okay, so if all these lines I'm mentioning are strange to you, you should watch the basic bodice tutorial. Okay guys, so now to create the insert, if you look at the picture very well, the insert is a bit close to the shoulder, and then it plunges back into the curve of the armhole. So first of all, I'm going to rule out I want to join the points I made on those lines with the straight line, my ruler. So I'll just connect all the points like this. Okay, then next is to create the insert. Now what I'll do now is I'm going to measure my shoulder to my chest line, then I'll just find the midpoint. It's like a guide for me. Okay, so my midpoint is about 4, so I can just mark 4.5 on this line here, so that the insert comes all the way to the to this top part here, then it goes back into the armhole. So since here is 4.5, I'll be making here about 5 or 5.5, so that the curve of the insert will be very pronounced, right? So I'll just mark that, and then I'll use my French curve to create that curve. So for those of us that are still drawing with our bare hands, we're not using the right tools, you should try and get your sewing tools and curves. It makes your work accurate, almost perfect and all. Okay, so I'm just drawing the shape of my insert out like that. Good. So I'll just shade my insert so that we can have like a better view of the insert pattern. That's all. Okay, so now I will be cutting out. So like I said previously, if you're a beginner, you should visit our website www.wearlala.com. Visit our website, download the basic bodice tutorial. Is available there for free. Just scroll down and download. So if you watch that tutorial, you understand this better. And trust me, the basic bodice tutorial is also on YouTube, but the one on YouTube is not as detailed as the one on our websites. Okay, so you should visit our website and do that. So I'm just cutting out, I'm folding out my bust darts. I'm going to throw it here, and then I'll cut off the excess I do not need. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So this is the front. Coming to the back pattern, it's pretty simple. There's nothing happening. I'll just introduce my shoulder dart to the back pattern. Okay, so as you're watching this, just do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you share this video, like it, okay, and then feel free to leave your questions. So this is my back pattern and my front pattern. So let's go straight to the drafting of the skirts. So for the skirts, it's a pencil skirt and it's a short skirt, okay, and you don't have to draft it on fold. Okay, so this is the skirt, and I'll be coming down my 1 inch from my waistline on the center front. Okay, so I'll just mark 1 inch first. Yeah, so this 1 inch is the beginning of my slash point. Now from the other side, I'll be marking 2.5 inch. Okay, so that'll be 2.5 inch interval. Can be 3 inch, can be 2 inch, depends on you. Okay, So I'm marking 2.5 inch interval like so. I hope we can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, so these are the intervals. Then same thing on the center front. The intervals have to be equal. So I'm marking 2 inches because if you notice, so I'm just marking 2 inch apart. Okay. Because if I had done 2.5 inches and started from the waistline, the drapes would be straight, but this one is kind of slanted. Okay, so now I'm going to use my ruler to draw the slash lines, and they are slanted, and you don't need to worry, the center front is not on fold, it won't be cut on fold. So I'm just drawing my slash lines point to point like that. Okay, so it depends on the length of your skirt. Even if you're doing a long skirt, right, I feel the drape shouldn't exceed probably a few inches below the hip line. Okay, but for this particular one, because the dress is already short, the whole skirt was draped, right? So I'll just draw my slash lines like that. So altogether I have about 6 or 7 slash lines, I'm not sure. Okay, so my skirt is already slashed, right? Now the next step will be to slash through. Okay, that is cutting the pattern through, because we want the pleats to be on both sides of the skirt. So I'm drawing my slash lines and I'll just cut through with my scissors. But before I do that, I would first of all cut out my darts. I'll cut out my dart like this, and then I'm going to transfer it into the slash line. So at the end of the day, you have a fitted skirt where the dart is invincible, as the dart is not visible, it's already closed, but you cannot find it. So I'm going to slash the first line and the second line like this, and I'll also slash the other part of the lines. Then I can close it. Do you get it right now? It's a very simple technique. So I'm closing my dart with my masking tape. You see that? Then I can just slash through. So this way, because you cannot have a draped skirt and still be having that on it, you know. So I'm going to cut everything out. Now, if you slash to just one point of the skirt, the drape will just run from the center front towards the side seam, but the side seam will not have pleats. But this one has pleats, so we're running it through. Okay, so I'll just cut everything out. And then after cutting, I'm going to label. I've labeled all the patterns so that I don't, misplace 2 for 3 or turn the pattern upside down. And I've also shown my arrows to show that, all the patterns are facing upwards. It's very, very important. So I'll be placing this on my another paper, brown paper preferably, so that we can see the spacing and the spreading of the pattern. So for the spacing, I'll just do probably 1 or 1.5 inch apart for the skirt, so that, because if the pleat is too big, it tends to want to fall. Okay, so you can see that I've spread out the skirt, okay, like this. You spread it out. Next thing, I'm going to use my marker to connect all the points together. Okay, now before you slash the skirts, okay, it is advisable, in fact you should have another copy of the skirt before you start slashing or doing anything on the basic skirt pattern. You should have another copy, because by the time you finish draping and cutting on fabric and folding the pleats, you're going to have some little excesses, especially on the side seam, so you have to trim off. But if you don't have a copy, how do you know what to trim off? Okay, so this is my new working pattern for the skirts. Now I've transferred it to my fabric. I have 2 pieces of fabric under, okay, for the front. So we're going to be pleating like this on the fabric, you understand? But the reason why I use brown paper is for us to see the fullness that we're going to be pleating. So to make this very easy, you're going to take your scissors and we're going to notch all the points that we're going to be pleating. Okay, so this is my scissors. So just take note, the part on the pattern where you have the brown paper is the part we're going to be notching. And then this is my center front here, and I added 1/2 inch seam allowance to the center front because I'm going to be joining it together. So now notching, you see that I'll be notching. So these 2 parts that I notch now, I'm going to pleat it. Same thing here. Okay, so I'm going to notch all the parts where I have the brown paper. If I had used white paper on that, this might be a little bit confusing, but with this brown paper now, I think it's easier. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think about the brown paper I used? Okay, and I'm also notching like so. Now the truth is, for this kind of skirt, there is no quick way, there is no easy way. Let us learn how to work with patterns. It makes your work easy, it makes your work accurate. You don't need to do any guesswork. You don't need to be scared if you are showing for any size, whether it's a large size or small size. Okay, so those are what I'm always complaining. I don't like pattern. Let's have a change of mind. Okay, so for those of us that like freehand, can you just say hi in the comment section? Yeah, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer freehand? Do you prefer pattern? Let me know in the comment section. So I'm done notching the part we're going to be pleating. Okay, so here, this is it. So I will show the first how to pleat the first two parts, and I'll just do the rest myself. So this is my center front here. Okay, you can see the knot part on the video. Okay, so let's start working with this part. So for the first one, you're going to pleat. Okay, so you can use this as your guide, right? So you are pleating the first part. So you can see my 2 notch points here. Can you see that? So I'll just, pleat like this, and you need to work with your pins at this moment. Yeah, you need to work with your pins. So I'll just split here, and then I'll pleat the other side of the skirt. Okay, that's the center front. You have to be pleating one by one, the center front and the side seam. So I'll pick this other side here, and I'm going to pleat. Okay, now to make this very easy for everybody, I suggest you start pleating from the center front first, then towards the side seam, because as you be pleating, you're going to be having some little excesses because we slashed through. Okay, and as I was saying, we should have a copy of the original skirt pattern down. Okay, so I'll just pin this center front, and I'm going to reposition this. I didn't do this part well. Okay, so I'll just pleat it properly. Okay, yeah, so can you see that excess there at the side? Yeah, it's normal for draping. So I'll pick the second point. I'll start from the center front first. I'll pleat it down. It's a very easy process, trust me. Okay, so don't forget, which method of drafting do you find easy, pattern drafting or freehand? Let me know in the comment section. So I'll just keep pleating, and then the beauty of this is by the time you press, that's your iron, you will love this. And mind you, I'm using satin for the tutorial. If you're using a very nice fabric, very nice lace fabric, this will come out really nice. So I'm just picking all my points like so. I'll just keep pleating till I get to the last point, right? And I'll do the same process for the other side of my skirt. So let me just keep pinning. You have to work with pins at this moment, really. Yeah, so for those of us that don't like working with pins, this is a wake-up call for you. As a good dressmaker, you should learn how to work with pins, please. Okay, so can you see that my pleats are already coming out? So I'll just keep doing that, and I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. Okay, so this is my skirt. This is the wrong side. I'm done ironing. Okay, so I've done the pleat for both sides of my skirts. This is my center front here. Okay, so like I said, when you're done pleating, you're going to have some little excesses on the side seam. So at this point, I'm going to get my original skirt pattern. Okay, just a copy. Actually, you should make a copy down. So this is a copy of my pencil skirts. So I'll just place it like this. Okay, preferably you should pin it together. So when you pin it, you're going to have some excesses on the side. So you just trim it off. Then when you trim this off, you also use this to trim. In fact, you should place the two front pieces together and do the trimming at once. So this is it here. So once you trim off, the next step now is to go and join the center front. Okay, the center front is not on full. You're going to be joining it together with 1/2 inch. Okay, which I already added to my pattern. So I'll just go ahead and join with 1/2 inch seam allowance. When I join that together, okay, then I'll show us the back pattern. For the back pattern, it's your normal basic pencil skirt pattern for the back. Okay, This is it after sewing. So this is my back pattern. You just place them together, fabric to fabric, lining to lining. Now some people might want to ask that can you line it? Yes, you can line it. You can line it. For the front, you don't need to line, you don't need to pleat the front lining like that. Just use your basic pencil skirt pattern, the one you had before you started what do you call it? Before you started to drape. Use it to cut the lining, yeah, and then you join it together and add your darts to the back too. So after sewing, this is what you're going to have. So this is like a rough tutorial, okay? So but I hope you got the concept. This is so nice. You can see even with the drapes, the shape is still showing and all. So I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for watching.